The writings that hold the predictions about Jesus of Nazareth have many beautiful and kind guidelines in them regarding the care and guidance of the human family. That was not told to me. The Spirit that is sent by Jesus of Nazareth, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit that is sent by Jesus of Nazareth gives guidance and gives comfort. Literally, when you are feeling terrified or when you're in the worst of pain, the Holy Spirit gives comfort. But in the writings that hold the predictions, there are guidelines for raising a family in a kind and perfect honesty where we are all friends. See, men and women can be friends. Poorer people and richer people can be friends. People who have had heavy spiritual training can be friends with those who have very little spiritual training, because the Spirit of God that is given can equalify everybody. Equalify, I'm making up words. There was a philosopher, a wisdom studier, a serious spiritual powerhouse who was selected in the early days after Jesus of Nazareth left. His name is Rabbi Saul, and they call him the Apostle Paul. He was a wise one, and he declares that there are demons that stay around us after our friendship with God, after what they call salvation or wholeness or shalom. After shalom comes to us, there are still troubling spirits. And he describes the ways of life from a position of great humility. He was the most humble apostle because he had killed people. And he felt like, I should just be dead because I have killed the little carriers of the peaceable kingdom. I should just be dead. It's very difficult. It's very difficult when you look back and you see the evil that you've done to yourself and others. That's the way I am. I was not trained in some simple ways of actually maintaining body peace, family peace, mental peace. I wasn't trained in those ways of mental and emotional peace, physical body peace, and family peace. I wasn't taught about those ways. But I now have spent 28 years quietly observing. I used to get angry and slander. I used to hate those who would make hatred towards me. But I don't anymore, because I know that the whole human race is under the presence of spirits. There's only one thing that truly reverses the disunity of the Tower of Babel, and that is the surprise language. Go to my YouTube page, YouTube channel, Grandpa Honesty Guy. Type in Grandpa Honesty Guy, the surprise language of tongues. Grandpa Honesty Guy, the surprise language of tongues. And you will get a group of videos that teach you things that I was never taught in my youth. My mother got her surprise language when I was 4 years old in 1961. My mother got her surprise language when I was 4 years old in 1961. And I was not told about that supernatural event until 37 years later. This is a crime. This is a crime in the church atmosphere of hiding and ignoring the best and most serious elements and the most serious instructions. The reversal of the Tower of Babel is coming together in a personal neighborhood group where the people admit the demons that are still remaining around them. And one of the biggest demons in America is selfishness and the shopping spirit. Selfishness and a lack of faithfulness towards others. When we make primary relationships in our life, we are responsible to the whole family. When we make primary relationships in our lives, we are responsible to the whole family to stay in an open-hearted and unified and peaceable connection. Faithful connection. I will say it once and I will say it repetitively. Because there is so much pornography, because there is so much sexual urges, because there is so much desire to escape and be comforted and pleasured, because that urge in us is so strong, it is written, each person should have their own person to enjoy. I'll say it again, because there's so much sex craziness, each person should have their own person to enjoy. And go to Leviticus 15 and Leviticus 12. When a girl baby is born, she is to be hugged and held by her mom for 80 days, undisturbed by other people. When a boy child is born, he is to be hugged and nurtured by the mom for 40 days, half the time. That's an indicator that the female human beings are supposed to receive extra nurture and care. Because the male human being form pre-existed the female human being form. The female human being form came out of the pre-existing man form while the man was asleep. And a lot of people say men don't understand women because they were asleep when the woman was formed. So that's why men have to study the character of female and then teach the daughters and even remind the wives and the mothers of their powers. They are Etzer. They are a supernatural rescuer. They are a surrounding protective essence. And look at Leviticus 15. Don't ignore the word unclean or untouchable and replace it with really, really special, or something big is going on. When the woman is in her cycle, something big is going on. The man is the baby fountain. The woman is the baby catcher. And the woman body goes through a long season of difficulty through pregnancy and the nurture and lactation. And the woman body goes through long times of pain and difficulty in the cycle, in the menstruation. So, for 14 days out of every month, the fertile woman receives extra care, not just from the men, but from the whole family. And the wise fathers say, pay attention. The woman body is in her extra special time. Let us treat her with special rest and care and protection, because she is the form that carries the tiny little baby of us. Regardless of what that form looks like, regardless of the relationships of that woman, she should be cared for extra special in the time of her cycle. And then, look at what it says about the men. Anytime the man has the flow of the seed, the baby fountain, no big deal. It's something that's going to happen from time to time. The man has a part that is irresistibly comforting. To stimulate and satisfy. And if a man has a flow of the seed, he is simply to announce to the family, hey, something wild's going on, something special's going on. I'm special until the next sundown. And the whole family should treat him with compassion and care, because he has released his chi, he has released his life force, and we should care about him in that one little moment for the man, and for a 14-day period for the women. And then when a man and woman are together, if you are together with a man, you women, and he has a flow of seed, you are called untouchable until the next sundown. There's something special going on around you. And this is not just protection against sexually transmitted diseases. This is an emotional training for the family about the flow. When a woman is with a man and there's a flow of seed, even science now says that if the seed flows inside of her, there is a part of that man that goes in her and never leaves. It literally becomes part of her physiology. The seed of the man going into the woman becomes a part of her actual physiology, and there is some kind of operation of spirit beings. There's an uncountable number of spirit beings. Even the angels of light, there's billions of them. And they are clustered around things like eating and speaking and intimacy. And then Yeshua comes along and says, if you are aroused and you are thinking about someone, in order to induce that arousal, you actually are making an intercourse with them. And you have committed adultery, which is a sin punishable by stoning to death. You have committed adultery against that person that you're desiring and lusting for. So that means that if we really love each other, in the special family friend honesty group that reverses the Tower of Babel, if we are really in That honesty and communion group, that perfect group, that is the resurrected body. That's the Garden of Eden body. If we're in that Garden of Eden body of people, then we keep one another, we keep watch over one another, and we're serious about all the little nuances of human troubles. All the little nuances. We care about them. And we don't condemn. We're just realistic. It's like, hey, I was late to work today. Hey, I got angry and I yelled at my family member. Hey, I had a flow from my body. Hey, my heart was desiring a person who's not my person. These are the things that we simply get real about, and we return back to the pure freshness of our baptism time. These are the things that were never taught to me. These are the things that I wish to practice with my communion group. If you are longing for a safe place and a good communion group, talk with me, because it is my desire to be honest and real and open about all things, if possible. It is my desire to be honest and real about all things, if possible. Peace be with you.